We're back, Meepletown.
We are back. We're having so much fun with this list.
Yes, we are. Now, just so we can remind everybody, we are working through our top 50 games of all time. Kind of like, what do we want to play the most at this very moment in our timeline?
That's right.
And just so that you're reminded, we are doing this on YouTube and on the podcast. So if you're on YouTube, just know that this is also going to the podcast, and that makes the difference more so for the podcast listeners, because we might reference some pictures that we're pulling up that you might not be able to see, but we'll try to make sure that we're not holding out secrets against you or anything like that. Right?
That's it. That's what
fair?
we're going to do. Yep. And if you want to listen to our podcast, you can look us up on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, all that stuff. Just search Meepletown. And if you're on the podcast, you can go to the YouTubes and you can search Meepletown. Dude, let's get it. Let's go.
Jump on it.
It's time to go.
We are. We gotta push through this thing. We gotta fly through it. We're going to do this in 10 minutes. Ready?
Like an aeroplane.
It's not going to be 10 minutes. Okay.
Oh.
My number 30. Oh, man. I'm struggling with my numbers right off the bat.
Already.
My number 30. I've got a couple on here that I want to mention. Like, I could see this rising or falling. Western Legends is one that I'm going to go ahead and say this one could fall. It has fallen for me a little bit, but not because I don't like it. I really love this game. I just haven't played it, and it's harder to find the right people to play this game. But in this game, you're taking on the role of a historical Western United States character, and you are going around the board doing lots of different things. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can go try to arrest people. You can go and play poker. You can go and battle things and rustle cattle. And what else am I missing?
Man, you can go mine for gold.
Mine for gold and sell it to the bank. There's all kinds of things you can do. And you're just trying to race to get those legendary points.
You can shoot people in the face.
That's right. Is
and
it?
Can you?
I guess so. You do have guns, so yeah, sure, why not? You can do whatever you want in this game. And the cool thing about this is you can also kind of choose what path you're going to go. Do I want to be a good guy? Do I want to be a bad guy or a person? Right? What path do I want to take?
Outlaw?
I can go ahead and tell you most of the time I want to be an outlaw.
You do. That's the kind of guy you are in real life. You are always a rules breaker.
This is actually not.
That's who you are.
Not false. Yes, that is kind of who I am. I am not a rule follower necessarily. So
he has been jailed many times.
In this game? Or just
in real life?
In real life. None times.
Have you ever gone to jail?
No.
Oh, wow.
Close, but that's for another episode. Anyway, I really like this game. Again, it has to be with the right people, and I just haven't got this one to the table in a while, which is why this has dropped for me a little bit. I'm hoping it doesn't drop off the list, and if it does, it's only because I'm not able to play it as much as I'd like to. So anyway, that's Western Legends. Love this game. A lot of fun.
You have that expansion?
I have one of them. I don't have the newest one.
Yeah.
When I picked this up, it had the expansion. I bought it used, so it had the expansion included, I think. But I think that's all I have.
That came out. That's what I meant to say.
Right. I don't have the newest one that came out.
All right, your number 30 is Western Legends, and hey,
Western Legends.
Western Legends. Before we flip over, we do need to state that it is ranked 248 overall.
Yeah, people really like this game.
Yeah, that's honestly, I'm really surprised by that. Not that I think it's a fine game if you're playing with the right players. It can be really fun. Not one I'm going to go to super often, but if Dean wants to play, I'll probably play with him.
Yeah, I do want to play, John. Yeah. So let's stop the podcast, stop the YouTubes, and let's go play.
Number 30, Western Legends. My number 30 is a game that I quite enjoy, and that is, saying I quite enjoy something is kind of a waste of a phrase, isn't it? Because if it's ranked 30 on my list, I'll probably quite enjoy it.
You do quite enjoy it.
Sometimes I say things that just doesn't matter.
I would have never thought about it until you
Rajas
said that.
of the Ganges, and this is an Inca and Marcus brand game. Now, what is so cool about this game is, listen, I play a ton of Euros, right? What happens in most Euro games? How do you win, Dean?
You get points.
And whoever scores the most points wins, which is fine. But in Rajas of the Ganges, instead of that,
you're getting points.
You have two tracks. And whenever they cross each other, the first player to do that, I'm showing this picture on here, wins the game. But what's so intriguing is, guess what, Dean? One of those tracks is your income track, right?
Yep.
And so you're literally spending points in order to, build stuff, which can score you more points later. And so you have all those really interesting decisions about that. There are not a ton of pictures on BGG for this game, so this is kind of
interesting.
boring. Yeah. which
They're
I
really
just don't.
colorful components in this game.
It's such a good game. You have your own little player board, and you're putting out. I mean, you're building like a map, right? Which is really neat, and they unlock different things. There's engine building stuff going on. It's a dice placement, dice worker placement. So however you roll the dice and where to put those really matter. Different ways to mitigate the dice. It's just like a really fun game, and my wife hates this game.
Oh.
She hates it. We played the other day, and she was having fun. I'm telling you. She's going to listen to this until I started whipping her. Mm-hmm. She really doesn't like race games, and I think a lot of that has to do with there's a lot of race games that are really hard to catch up in. Or maybe she just gives up. I don't know. But she went from smiling to frowning to scowling.
Oh, my goodness. To flipping the table.
That's true.
To pulling out weapons.
That's right.
It
there were punches that were thrown.
Oh, my.
On the TV while we were sitting next to it.
Oh, okay. You were watching a Western.
No, I don't watch TV while I play board games. But anyways, Rogers of the Ganges, number 30, wonderful game. Also, the weight is like 2.8 or something on BGG. So this is a really cool game to get folks into the hobby that, or kind of that step up game, I would say, and right in your wheelhouse too, Dean.
Yeah.
Right in my wife's wheelhouse. I thought she would love it.
It does. It seems like something she would really enjoy because her and I tend to kind of fall in that same category.
You really do. Worker placement, dikes worker placement. Excuse me. 150 overall.
Yeah. This is
incredible game.
This is an excellent game. Absolutely. This has made my list last year, I believe. If I had to go back and look, I think that's right. Did not this year, but only because it's kind of a little out of sight, out of mind. The roll and write version of this game is really good too. We both really like this. Probably maybe my favorite roll and write. I'm not sure, but
that is number 30 for me. Rogers of the Ganges.
Excellent pick.
Thank you.
Do you need my validation on these picks?
I don't care.
All right. My number 29 is a game that you also like. This game came out in 2020. I've got the new hotness list over here.
Pew, pew. Man, you just putting shooters all around, boy.
I am. Project Elite, which is I actually was just telling somebody about this online, saying that they really like Zombicide. This is like speed Zombicide in some ways.
How many games on your list have miniatures?
Oh,
That's a lot.
I'll give you an answer once we get through the whole list.
It's a lot.
It's a few.
Oh, there's some crazy look at that
on my
thing.
list today. 2 out of
Does
2
that creep
so
you
far.
Out? There is this crazy looking creature if you're on the podcast with 2
That's
faces.
an expansion creature. I don't know
wow,
what
that is. That is really gruesome.
That is. Okay.
If that thing came after me, I would have nightmares.
So this is a real-time game. Maybe my only real-time game on my list, although there's several that could have made it because I like real-time games. In this game, you're rolling dice as fast as you can to go around and pick up weapons, and you're trying to destroy aliens that are invading your base or whatever. They've come here to destroy you, and you got to take care of them. The cool thing I like about there's a lot of cool things I like about it, but one is that feel of Zombicide where you're exploring and trying to find weapons. In this one, you're doing that, but you have to do it faster than you do in Zombicide even. And you have to do it fast in Zombicide, but this one, you really have to move fast. And you can only search like one time, and so you're not going to get that many weapons. You might not get like the greatest weapon, so you kind of have to make do with what you can find. And then the scenarios change up from game to game. You're playing different missions. You might be going out to try to destroy their nest, or you might be trying to go out and get samples or whatever. There's lots of different scenarios that can play out. Really fun game. Really enjoy this one. That is Project Elite, specifically talking about the Command Games version that came out in 2020.
That is right. There are so many pictures of miniatures. Like I'm having to scroll through, because I'm just trying to show some of the gameplay and some of the game boards. I don't like real-time games, but I like this game.
3 out of 7 games today use miniatures.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, but I mean that's just today.
Why do you say
3 out of 10? Sorry, 3 out of 10. 7 do not have miniatures.
I was super confused. I was like, "What? Are we just doing 7 games today?"
3 out of 10 of these
are you saying
are
that 3 out of 10 board games have miniatures? 3 out of 7 board. Oh man.
3 out of 10 from my list are straight up card games too. That's interesting.
This is one of those that falls into the category of if Dean wants to play, I will play a lot of times. I won't suggest it ever, but
you had a lot of fun playing.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing it. It's a fun game. Project Elite ranked 1008 overall, and that's the new version. Is the old?
I'm trying to pull it up right now. Actually, 1,444.
Oh, so it did even better. So how about that? All right, that is your number 29. That is Project Elite. My number 29 is a game that I think is on Dean's list later on. And so I'm just going to say Snowdonia Master Deluxe Set, and then let's talk about it when we get to you. Am I correct on that?
Well, you're incorrect in saying the title of the game. It's actually Deluxe Master Set.
I said Master Deluxe set like the first week that Dean had it, and I cannot stop saying it.
What's happening to my
I'm trying so
today?
hard
I'm
to
struggling.
not say it anymore.
I'm struggling
You
with
are.
this.
You're like,
I need a high chair is what I need.
you just got to put it a little lower.
I can't untighten it. It's too tight.
Oh my gosh.
I need somebody stronger. Maybe
All
somebody
right.
with giant shoulders that could help me out. That could. All right, so your number 29
is Snowdonia Deluxe Master Set, which will be talked about later. What is your number 28, Dean?
My number 28 is a worker placement game known to a lot of people as kind of
Absolute
that gateway classic worker placement. That's Lords of Waterdeep. It came out in 2012. It is ranked 76 overall.
That is high that game is still. People love this game.
It's great. It's
Yeah.
a great game, and it's really cool for a lot of reasons. One, the simplicity of it, right? You're just placing a worker, picking up resources essentially, and you are trying to complete quest. Now, the expansions really make this game. I think this is one somebody mentioned. I can't remember who it was. It said, if you could mention which games really need the expansions. So far, I've talked about Western Legends and Project Elite. They don't need expansions for me. I can just play the base game and it's fine. Lords of Waterdeep, the base game is totally fine, but I really do enjoy this expansion. I think it's fantastic. But and that's it. That's kind of the basis of the game. The cool, I guess, twist on the game is that you're also building buildings. So you're kind of building new worker placement spots, a la Kalis or something like that. And then that's going to change the board over time. And if I'm the one who built these spots, then I'm also going to get the bonuses from those locations. Have you played this yet? Did you borrow my copy?
I have the app. I borrowed your copy, but I didn't play it. I don't remember why I gave it. You needed it back for something, I think.
Yeah, we were having a game
because you're
night.
having friends over, and you had let me borrow like 3 games, I think.
Yeah.
And so I just hadn't gotten to this yet, but I really need to because my wife is a big worker placement fan, and this is, I think, kind of in her probably wheelhouse. I think she would like this one quite a bit. So
some people might not like the
need to borrow it
D&D
again.
theme. I think that's most people will, but there are some people that don't care for that D&D theme. This game is fairly themeless, although I force the players that I play with to make sure to call them the different cubes. I need them to call them warriors and rogues and all of the wizards, right? I need them to do that because I need a little theme in it. I drive some people crazy when I do that.
That's
don't
why
I?
you don't want to play with this guy sometimes.
It's a really
There
fun
you go.
game. Lords of Waterdeep. Highly recommend if you've not played this one. It's a classic for a reason.
All right, number 38 for Dean, Lords of Waterdeep. My number 38 is a game that I didn't love the first time I played this, but now I do love it. And that is a Michael Keller and Andreas Odenhall game, and that is La Granja. Dean, you played that, but only have played this online. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So this game has just a lot of really fun, cool mechanics that you have going on. You have card building. You have, as you see, if you're on the YouTubes, this little section, the market section. Sorry, I could not think of the name. In the middle of the board, where you are battling it out for position and even kicking people's pieces out, which some people might not like that. You're racing and trying to fulfill these market things as fast as possible so that you can get the bonus on that. But the card play is what I think is really interesting. It also, because it's really interesting when you get a card, whether you want to put it in your field that can help you get more resources, or whether you want it to have a perpetual bonus that you have, or whether you want to use the card. See if I can pull up a card here. Here we go. Or whether you want to use the card to fulfill a market thing and score points with it. Like there is 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you can do with cards. And so you have a lot of interesting decisions when you have a few cards in your hand. The world is your oyster. And I think that's one of my favorite things. There's also dice worker placement that I like in the game. It's just one of those games, Dean, that has a lot of mechanics that I enjoy. They all come together. It kind of has a Feldish feel for sure. And this is just a really, really great game, and they're coming out with the new one.
Yeah, the Deluxe Master Set, actually. Speaking of Snowdonia Deluxe Master Set, this is from Boards and Dice is going to redo the Board and Dice. They're doing
so far it looks
new version
really
of that.
good. I'm very happy the way it's looking. So, yeah, I don't usually I might have to pick that up because this is a really good game. This is ranked 177 overall, so really highly ranked game. Haven't checked it out. La Granja is very good. That's my number 38.
Yeah, good pick. Not bad.
All right, Deanie, number 37 for you.
37 is a game that fits right in my wheelhouse.
There you
This
go.
one is has been much higher on my list, and I haven't got to play it in a while, but hopefully I'll get to play it soon. That is Rising Sun,
Another miniature game.
This one is the second in the series, the Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and Ankh trilogy there. This came out in 2018. It's ranked 90 overall. There's a couple reasons why I like this. One is the way that you take your actions in this one feels like a Puerto Rico type game. So I'm going to take a tile, and I will take the action, and everyone will be able to take that action. I'll be able to take it last as my bonus, right? So I can see what everyone else does. But also, if you and I are teamed up together, John, because you get to, at the beginning, at the tea ceremony, you like tea, you probably like this game.
I love tea.
The tea ceremony, you and I will both decide, or whoever's at the table, who wants to pair up. And if you pair up, when you take that action, the person who takes the action gets a bonus, but also you'll get an extra bonus along with that. Again, like Puerto Rico-esque. That's right, if you pair up. And so there's a benefit in doing that. You don't have to pair up, and if you don't, you're going to be just fine too. Like, you can still do well in this game. Really cool game. The only reason why this one's not just a slight bit higher, the combat system in this one drags a little bit. When I'm kind of looking at that trilogy of Ankh, Blood Rage, and Rising Sun, I'm not sure. Ankh, I made this list before I played Ankh, so that's why it's not going to be on it completely. I think I prefer the battle system in Ankh, but overall I prefer Rising Sun because of the way that you take your actions. I think it's
interesting,
better for me. But anyway, just a fantastic game. I love it. I think you'll like this one. I don't know if you'll like it as much as Ankh, but with that merger piece in Ankh, you really didn't like that, which dropped it quite a bit for you. But overall, the feel of the game, I think you would like Ankh better. Yeah. But you might give this a higher score. I don't know.
I'm just surprised you have a game that's the rated this high that's about fruit.
What's that?
It's about fruit. Because all the times you have to pair up.
Oh, okay. You had to work for that one a little bit, I think.
No, that was...
Yeah, it was a stretch.
Number 38. Am I right? I haven't gotten off yet, have I?
This one could rise on my list the more that I play it, but it has been higher on my list, for sure.
So we started on... I said number 1, we're in the 20s, so I don't know why I said number 38.
It will rise like the sun in the east.
So we started with number 30, number
talking.
29, number 28. That's your 27. That's where I thought I got it off. 27 for Dean. Forgive me if I said the wrong number earlier. That is Rising Sun. My number 27, talk about area control games with miniatures.
What?
And crazy components.
Oh, I see it.
El Grande has made my list. That was sarcasm about great components and all that jazz.
El Grande, Spanish for the Grande. I'm going to make that joke every time.
You say that joke every single time.
Because it's Chris Farley.
It's Spanish for the Grande. Oh my gosh.
He's the best.
El Grande is a game that is absolutely mechanically beautiful. Don't you think? It's pretty simplistic. So simplistic to where I recently played this game with someone who has basically just played games like Carcassonne and Ticket to Ride. And she picked it up very easily. What you're going to do on this game is you're going to be, first of all, bidding an amount to see who goes first. And guess what, Dean? You know this. You can't get that card. You're not going to use it again unless you have a special ability that lets that card get back. And that's numbers 1 through 13 or 12. No, 15. What are the card numbers?
13. 1 through 13, I think.
I had it right the first time. I second guessed myself. 1 through 13. So if you spin the 13, which can make sure that you go first, guess what? You have to have a special ability to get that back. You're not guaranteed to go first anymore the rest of the game. Then when you go first, you're going to select a card out of 5 different types of cards, right, that are out. And the cool thing about this is whenever you select the card, oftentimes there's cards that have better abilities, but the card not only has abilities, it also has how many meeples you can put out on the map. So oftentimes there's cards that have really great abilities, but you don't get to put as many people out on the map, which is really just super smart, right? Just super simple, super smart, and it leads to all these decisions. And then if you see the Castillo here in the middle, on the side of the board, this is a place where if you're going to put 3 dudes on the map, you could take 2 of them and just toss them in there, and then later on, whoever has the most in there is going to score points, but also on top of that, you're going to get to later on move all of them to a place. Just such elegance.
Yeah.
I don't use that word with a lot. I just feel like with this game, it just has that like elegant area majority, area control.
It really does. Now, somebody recently mentioned, I couldn't find it. I think they commented on our BGG blog maybe, and that's why I'm not finding it. But had recommended that we play with the different cards, and we need to do that. And so I have all the expansion, the big box of this, and we've not played with, I don't think, any of it. I think we've only played the base game of this, which is totally enough. That's all you need is a base game, in my opinion. But they recommended that we do the cards because it really changes up the game, and now I'm interested to
see what that's
check
like.
that out.
All right, that is my number 37, El Grande. If you like area control, area majority, and you've never played this, do yourself a favor and spend $100 on a game that's out of print. Is it out of print? Is the big box out of print?
I think it's all out of print. Yeah, unfortunately. This really needs to be reprinted.
Yeah, I want this one, but anyway.
Yeah, there you go. There's a $200 game. I'm just
go.
kidding. It's not that much. But this one might show up on my list on another day, potentially.
That is ranked number
see.
82 overall from 1995.
Boom.
That is impressive. That's how good that game is. All right. That
you
is
know, it didn't come out in
37.
1995, but it came out this year. Is my number 26. Is that what we're on?
The second edition of it.
The first edition came out in 2009. I really enjoyed it. And honestly, I just hadn't played it in so long. I hadn't really remembered how much that I enjoyed this game. And that is Summoner Wars. Specifically, I'll talk about the second edition.
Ranked 2,330. That's actually probably not too bad.
I had the other one pulled up. What's the other one? Is 533.
Yeah.
So in this game, this is a 2-player tactical card game. So it's basically a miniatures game, except you're using cards instead of miniatures, right? You're going to play cards out of your hand onto the board. The goal of the game is I need to knock out John's summoner. John needs to knock out my summoner. You're going to be summoning different characters out onto the board that will be mostly different minions and stuff. Some are champions, and then there's some events that you can play that really change the game. The cool thing I like about this is the asymmetrical play. So each faction in the game the base game comes with 6, and I think they've announced 2 new ones. I don't know if they're out yet, but anyway, I think there's 8 that are going to be available soon, and there's going to be a lot more that come out for this. But the way that they play so differently, I really enjoy that. Mm-hmm. And because they've had lots of time, 11 years now, to tweak this, there's a lot of balancing things that they've cleared out. There's some of the iconography issues that weren't even necessarily that big of a deal, but they just really upped everything up a notch. Everything's just so easy to just jump into this game and play. Really, I really highly recommend this if you like 2-player games, if you like 2-player like tactical war game, that sort of thing. It's a really good one. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I enjoyed it as well. Not super my style.
I did that for you, by the way. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Quite a bit?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, though. It was fun. I had a good time. Not one that I would probably recommend, want to bring to the table and, vote on very often. But if Dean wants to play, it's also not one. This is another one of those that fits in that category. If not one, I'll turn down very often. It's fun. It's a good game.
Yep.
All right, that's
fantastic.
Your number 36 was Summoner Wars. My number 36 is Roll for the Galaxy.
By 36, you mean 26, right?
My number, that was Dean's number 26. I still can't get it right. Dean's number, I wonder how much I've messed that up, but I will put it right in the video. Dean's number 26, Summoner Wars. My number 26 is Tom Lehman game, Roll for the Galaxy. What do you think about Roll for the Galaxy, Dean?
I think it's like El Grande could potentially show up higher on my list at some point. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Then I won't talk too much about it. But
it won't be on today's list.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to just mention it really quick, because I was thinking that it might not be on today's list. Okay, so in Roll for the Galaxy, hey, you and your opponents are going to be picking, something that they want to do. They want to go scout, and they want to go get some more cards. Maybe they want to produce goods on some of the tiles that you already have out, or ship those goods out, or actually build more tiles into your tableau, and you all pick one of those things and you flip them over, and that's the actions that you're going to do. But that's taking place after what, Dean? You've chucked a bunch of dice and you're trying to think, how do you use these dice most efficiently? And in this game, you're just racing. You are racing to score how many points or how many tiles you have to get out. I can't remember.
It's
certain amount of tiles, sorry.
12, is that right?
I'm thinking that might be right. If we're wrong, then you can let us know. But then the game is over, and you're going to score points by, points being on your tiles, or by goods that you have produced and you've shipped out and different things like that. But it's just such a pretty quick game, right? Like, it's one of those ones where you can play in like 30, 40 minutes and you just leave satisfied.
Yep.
Agreed?
Yep. Now, this is a game that I will say, and I'll mention this whenever I talk about it later, but this is one of those that the base game alone may not have made my list. I really think Rivalry bumps this up quite a bit.
You love that. I do like Rivalry.
Ambition is really good too, but I think Rivalry is the one that really ramps it up. Although I would really recommend, if you're interested in this, just start with the base game. You don't need that stuff to make it an amazing game. It's an amazing game anyway, but I just think those are fun. But if you're talking about adding all those together, like I'm looking at Amazon right now, $125 for all three of those. The base game with the 2 expansions. Actually, it's not. Rivalry used to, when it came out, I thought was like it was $70
expensive.
or $80 or something.
Yeah, actually, you were looking at that, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should pick that up because it definitely was more expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, that will allow you to change dice faces.
That's right.
And that's why Dean likes it so much.
There's also this is an app form too, which is really well done. Maybe it's 15, John, because they have 5. Is that right? Oh my goodness.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know the rules to any games that we play. 15 tiles. I always thought it was 12, but I'm just looking and it looked like they had 15 out there. But anyway.
I don't think it's that many. But
I have to go back and look. I think that's right. Anyway,
there's too many games to remember every single thing about every single game.
The funny thing
is,
play
them a lot.
I play Roll for the Galaxy quite a bit on the iPad, like a lot. But to remember a simple rule like that is not coming to me.
Number 26, Roll for the Galaxy, fantastic game.
My number 25 is a game that probably will rise if I played this last week, it would probably be in my top 20, I guess. But that's Underwater Cities, and this one is ranked 43 overall. This game, you are...
I didn't say what Roll for the Galaxy was ranked overall.
Oh, no, you did not.
100. Barely in the top 100. Continue.
So in Underwater Cities, you are placing workers, right? This is a worker placement game, John?
Someone took a picture of some cards on an actual beach in the sand.
Oof.
That really makes me... I do not like that. Because they're definitely getting messed up. They're in sleeves. I guess. I can tell they're in sleeves.
Same I am.
Go ahead.
In this game, you are taking actions by placing your little worker thing. So this is... I made a joke because John and I got into it at one time about me saying this was not a worker placement. It is, but I was just kind of being silly.
It's absolutely worker placement.
You're placing a worker to take an action. You can, on top of that, play a card that matches the color if you can, which you want to do that because you're going to play better, right? You're going to get the bonus for being able to do that. And then you're also building up this underwater city. You're building these tunnels that go out to these domes and getting resources. You have these, your production round, stuff like that, where you're going to be producing the resources that you have. This game it gets compared a lot to Terraforming Mars, and for me it does have that feel because you're building a tableau and then also building up this city. They're very different games for sure.
I think you could have both of these games ranked high in your collection because there is enough, absolutely.
I'll go ahead and say this: these are both in my top 50 for sure. And John,
they're both in my top 50.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought they were. But on any day, honestly, like I could have one higher than the other. But I really enjoyed this game. It's really well done. I do not have the expansion for this, and I heard the expansion is good. And it has the dual layer boards, which sounds really appealing, but I don't have it. I don't play this one enough, although
another
think about it, I want to try
this. Very appealing. What I was going to say, I was going to say about this game really quick, and I will get to it later, is I really love the extreme engine building moments where you're like, boom, production moments. You get to run your engine, and you have these huge production moments. Very, very fun. That is your number 20. Are we on number 25?
I think that's right. I think that's right. This could be a top 10 game for you, but probably not. I think it's going to be a next week game for you.
My number 25 is...
You're not even going to hint at it.
Yep, okay. I'm not even going to go there. By Juma Al-Juju. Clans
I say yes.
Caledonia.
I don't quite know if that's right. But.
I think that's correct. The art is by Clemens Franz, so that's already like basically the way you feel about miniatures is the way I feel about. Actually, I do like Clemens Franz, but the games I like he does a lot of art on there, huh?
He does a lot of art on Dry Euros for sure.
Yeah. So in this game, if you've played Terra Mystica or if you've played Gaia Project, you're going to see some similarities between these games for sure, right?
Yep.
But this one's a little bit different because you're going to be You have a market where you're going to be buying and selling goods. And so I think that there's player interaction in all of these games for sure, especially like Terra Mystica. But the player interaction feels different in this game is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get these goods before other people. You're going to an export place where you're actually getting these tiles to then fulfill them, but it's really tension filled, I feel like, because oh my gosh, I need to do this action, but no, Dean's going to take that tile. I can't let him take that tile. But you can only have a certain amount at one time anyways. One, right? Mm-hmm. Unless you have the clan that allows you to have two.
That's right.
And so there's a lot of moments of I've got to fulfill that, and you've got to build your engine right as you go out and spread out, as I'm showing this here on the board. And if you don't, and you don't get the tiles that fit your engine, and you're not manipulating the market, you're going to lose this game. So you kind of have a few plates that are spinning, and that leads to a really fun game for me. And I like the player interaction in games where it's those race to, and it's not like you're racing to pick up the export tiles. It's just so vital.
Yeah.
I need it. Oh no, but I can't get it. I've got to fulfill this first. Then I can go get that one. And no, Dean took it. And now that really, really messes up my plans.
And then you're also manipulating the market.
That's right.
That impacts each other's gameplay a lot too. This is a really good game.
This is a super fun game. Every time I play this, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, this one dropped off my list this year. And it's not because I like it less. I still really love it. But it's just...
You haven't played it probably
it's been a while. And actually, the funny thing is, you mentioned that the solo of this is good, right? Was it you? Yeah, you had played the solo. You said that you thought it was good.
Yes.
I should try the solo of this.
Have you played the hard copy, the physical, since you got it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. And honestly, I picked it up to play it solo. Learning solo rules for me sometimes is it's a bear.
I'm going to tell you something. If the solo rules are not simple, I will not play it.
Yeah, I'm the same
Seriously,
way.
I got a game out the other day, and I was like, ugh, this is too much, and I'm just done.
Yep. I want to flip a card and it tell me what to do.
Yep.
Which a lot of them are going to that, which is nice. But anyway.
That's exactly right. All right, that is my number 25. That is Clans of Caledonia, and I don't know if I mentioned where it is ranked 50 overall.
It's pretty good.
Wow, that's a little higher than I thought it was. What's your number 24, Dean?
My number 24 is ranked just a little bit lower than that overall. That is Seven Wonders.
One I've mentioned earlier.
That's right. So Seven Wonders is ranked 73 overall. This is a game
that was ranked 77 overall. That'd be pretty cool.
It's still in the sevens. That's impressive.
Yeah, I know.
I think.
Yeah.
Hey, it is. Look at the rating on this. 7.7.
Yeah, 7.7. Look at how many cards are out on the table there.
Oh my goodness, what a jumbled mess.
That is like a OCD nightmare.
So this game plays, it says 2 to 7. I would not play this game at 2. It's just I'm not that interested in playing most drafting games like this at 2. But in this one specifically, I think you need to have
plus they have dual.
More. Right. And in this game, it plays in 30 minutes, which is really nice to play a 7 or with the expansion 8-player game in 30 minutes, right?
Oh yeah.
Because all you're doing is taking a card and playing the card, and then you pass the cards. Everyone's doing this simultaneously, which is one of the things I really love about this game.
Yep.
But it's not like I'm just doing my own thing. You have to pay attention to what the other players are directly to the right and left of you are doing. You have to pay attention to what everybody's doing, but specifically to the right and left, because you're going to be You're going to be having a battle with them at the end of every round, at the end of every age. You need to make sure that you have more military cards. So that's the gist. Like, you're getting resource cards, and those resource cards are helping you to pay for your military cards, your science cards, and your different what are the blue ones again? The buildings, whatever they are. But anyway, those are your victory point cards essentially. And then there's also guild cards. But anyway, it's just a fantastic game. Now, this one, I would say, if you're...
Culture?
That's not right.
No.
If you're interested in this game at all, I think the base game is enough. Mm-hmm. The cities and the leaders expansions really are great. I love them a lot. I don't have the Armada expansion, which I've heard really good things about that as well.
Yeah, that's one I've never played, and I like this game a lot.
I'd really like to try that one, too, because I think it would add a lot to it. But... just an excellent game. This is Lords of Waterdeep and Seven Wonders in the same week, right? These are great classic gateway. I consider this to be a gateway plus, just because the iconography and the gameplay can be a little bit difficult, although I've played this with a ton of new people. Anyway, Seven Wonders, really enjoy this one.
Really good game. That is your number 24, Seven Wonders.
Yep.
My number 24 is I wonder what might be in the cave, because it's number... Nope. because it's named Caverna. Was that good, or was that a good transition?
I mean, when you have to ask, like,
Yeah.
was this a good joke? No.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
No, it was not.
All right, so this is a Uwe Rosenberg game, which this will not be. This is not the first time he's been on my list, is it?
I'm sure
It
not.
won't be the last. This is ranked 30 overall.
Your top 10 is all... Hey, this is not in your top 10.
No.
Wasn't it last year? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
It was, or borderline. It was 10 or 11, I think, last year. Yeah, so this is 24, right? Did I get that wrong? I don't think I did. Yeah, I whoops, clicked on the wrong one over there. Yeah, I've played this several times this year. I even got the Forgotten Folk expansion that I really recommend. I think it's really fun because it gives you variable player powers, and it's really, really cool. But if you've never played this, maybe you've played Agricola. A lot of people say that this is an Agricola killer. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I do think I prefer Caverna over Agricola most of the time. But in this game, you're just going to place your worker and do what it says. You're going to be building farms. You're going to be getting, more vegetables, and you're going to be getting different animals. But in this game, you're also going to be carving out your cave, which I think is really, really cool. And you're going to be putting buildings into that cave. And there's such a wide variety of buildings. It can be a little intimidating at first. When you first sit down, you've never played this game, and you see all those buildings, you can be like, whoa. Now, there is a way to start the game to play for your first time without as many buildings, and, that's fine. But I think this is really, really fun. It's just classic Uwe, epic monster game. Farming, that's great. Now, one last thing I'll say.
Epic monster game?
It's a monster size game.
Not like Rising Sun. That's an epic monster game.
But the last thing I do want to mention that I really like about this is the way you can go out and pillage. You would like that, Dean.
You say this every time. I would love this game.
And you can pillage. And the way that you have to pillage based on what value their weaponry is and the order that you have to do that really leads to some really cool decisions in this game. And this is just a great one. I mean, this is absolutely a classic, I think many people would say, for a reason. That's number 24. Still very high, Caverna the Cave Farmers.
Probably if I play this game, it would be my favorite Uwe game, if I have to guess, right?
It could be. I mean, Feast for Odin is really good.
Fields of Arla is my favorite right now. I think. Is that right?
Maybe.
I think that's right. Anyway, I'll say good pick because I think this is going to be a really fun game once I get to play it eventually one of these years.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Are you intimidated by the length? Kind of like it's a big box, you're worried it's going to take a while and we're not going to have time, or...
No, I don't think so.
You just haven't had time to do it.
I'm not intimidated by anything, John.
Wow. Okay.
Including Cryptid. Like the actual Cryptid, like these mythical creatures that are out to get you. I'm not scared. My number 23 is Cryptid. This game came out in 2018.
Whoa, look at that picture.
What is that?
I don't even know.
That's a Cryptid. That's a...
Wow.
Interesting.
Y'all, I don't know if I can explain it. It's kind of like a bird that looks like a mouse together or something.
I was thinking that was a kiwi maybe. Kiwi?
Maybe it is a kiwi.
Okay. This game is ranked 271 overall, plays in about 30 to 50 minutes, and this is a straight-up deduction game where you are playing competitively, trying to figure out where the cryptid is on the board. I have a piece of information. John has a piece of information. The person across from us has a piece of information, and we're all asking questions about where it potentially could be until you can narrow it down to guess where it actually is. And if you do that and you guess correctly, you will be declared the winner. This game plays really fast, and I just really, really love it. Now, this is one I would like to say everybody I've introduced this game to absolutely loves it. That is not the case, but a lot of people I've played this with really, really enjoy it.
That's true.
This is kind of in the more gateway range as well, although you have to really play through one game, which, again, doesn't take that long.
I remember playing it, and it was taking me a minute to kind of...
So, what type... Because all you're doing is you're asking a question, could it be here? And that's it, essentially. And sometimes that's really difficult to grasp, but still really fun. I love this game so much, and the thing I'm excited about is Cryptid Urban Legends that's coming out next year.
That's true.
It's a 2-player only version of this game, but it's not exactly like the same thing. It actually, the way they described it, and I saw some comments and stuff, people think it could potentially be like a Mr. Jack style game, which is a game that I enjoy.
Ugh.
Not love, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm intrigued by that. Cryptid. Cryptid.
I really want to play this one again. I didn't love it when we played it, but I liked it. Remember, I was like, yeah, it's fun, but I'm not. So it's one that I've thought about many times, which usually means that I probably will like it better if I play it again.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason I'm thinking about it. So
this is one that you can play back to back to back, like it plays quickly. It says
271 overall.
Sometimes not even 30 minutes. I mean, it can take less time than that if people know what they're doing.
Dean's number 23 is Cryptid. My number 23 is a game that just came out last year, Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Tawantinsuyu. I have this higher than Caverna. How about that? In your face, Caverna.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just kidding. Some people are going to think you are crazy. This is a David Turtsky game, and man, he knocked it out of the park. This was the Meeple Town Game of the Year, right?
That's right. If maybe this is the only one that you've watched so far, I had this one at, oh goodness, I can't see it on here now. It was in my top 39, somewhere around there. I think that's right, 39.
David has done a little game that you might have heard of called Anachrony. That may or may not absolutely be higher on my list. He makes some really good designs. And I really like how David kind of goes outside of, like, he has a lot of different style games.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool. And some of his games I like more than others for sure, but I like how he just kind of risks it a little bit and it doesn't just stay in a particular wheelhouse, except for just his big Euros are my favorite, like Anachrony in this game. And this game is just so cool. There's a ton of things going on the board, but it's really simple. Like, you place a worker and then you look around and see if there's another worker of the same color adjacent or two workers adjacent, and you get, an action based on how many are adjacent to that. And so there's three things that will be surrounding you. And if you have two other workers besides you in the same color, you're going to get all three of those actions, which is really cool. But on top of that, you're also going to, every meeple has a special power. And I know you liked that a lot about it, Dean, didn't you? How there's powers with the meeple. So you may gain an extra action with a certain color meeple. Or if you put a certain color meeple in a certain spot, you gain extra action. All those things are really, really cool in this game. You have a lot of engine building. You have the tapestry, the weaving that you engine build with. You also have this really cool area majority thing that goes on. It's just a lot of really fun mechanics all woven together into a tapestry of glory.
What if I don't know how to weave? Can I still play this game? Is that an option?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, you can.
Thanks, man. This is a good game. This is a really, really good game.
I played this recently because I was like, I got to make sure that this is good. And I'm like, absolutely it is. It actually made it go up higher on the list because I was like, every time I play this game, I'm like, this is brilliant and I love it.
Yep. For a crossover on it's not a heavier. It's not heavy. I think this is like medium heavy.
It's 4.
Oh, it's a 4. Okay.
It's a 4. There's a lot to think about, but it doesn't feel to me that crazy heavy.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is for us to have a crossover on a heavier game like this, if you like heavier games, you might love this. Even if you don't like heavier games, you might love this, right?
Because you don't have very many games rated at 4 on your list.
That's right.
This and
funny enough, I don't have anywhere
hardly
near that. All mine this week are like in the 2s, like low 2s, actually.
There you go.
Rising Sun was a 3. And
Underwater Cities is close. Yeah, Underwater Cities is close.
Everything else is in the low 2s on this. That's kind of surprising, I guess.
It is ranked 1,226 overall. Y'all get that to the table. Pick that game up. Throw it on the table, and you will be happy if you like heavier Euro games.
That's right.
That's my number 23.
My number 22 is another classic.
You're going all classic today, baby.
I am. Classic gateway game. I would put this in that category. Entry-level game, something like that. Dominion. This one came out in 2008 and plays in about 30 minutes. Again, just like Seven Wonders, is a straight-up card game, a deck builder, and the purest of its kind, probably.
Absolutely.
In this game, you're just like building up your deck by purchasing cards, and you're trying to figure out the best combination to be able to gain the most points at the end of the game, and you get those points by buying up different stacks. Like, once stacks are gone, 3 stacks I believe it is, then you're done. No, here's the thing.
I love all these crazy, like, ridiculous cards. If you go look, they just put all kinds of crazy cards on there. Anyways, that people would make up. But go ahead.
But The thing that's kind of rejuvenated this a little bit for me is I've been playing the app. I did a video for this one. Is the app out yet, John? Do you know?
I don't think so because I want the app.
Okay. So I've been doing a beta version of the app where
I think I would play it a lot.
I did a video for this. And for a while, they had different expansions that were showing up in that app. I think right now it just has all the base cards in there. But when it releases over time, all of the expansion stuff will be released for it, I believe. And it's really well done, and it just makes me... And I still get this game to the actual table pretty often because my wife really loves this game too. This is a fantastic game, and I get why some people...
My wife doesn't.
...get kind of over it. Like, okay, that was fun back in the day, but there's things to move on to.
I think it's great still.
Yeah, I do too, obviously. But I know that there's a lot of people that feel that way. Like, okay, this was great at introducing people to deck building, but there's other better deck builders out there.
But there's something homey about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something like classic.
Yep. Yeah.
Look at this lady. She's playing this, just had a baby, and she's playing Dominion in her hospital.
Who do you think's winning between her and the baby? The baby can't even hold their cards, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Is that their hand right there, right next to?
I don't know, man.
Wow.
Just like
not taking it easy. This might be my highest. No, it's not. It's not my highest deck builder, but it is.
It's really high.
It's really high, especially for like pure deck builder.
Dean, that is ranked. Did you say that? I don't know if we did.
102, I did not.
Yeah, that's like, so that, and what was the 100? Oh, Roll for the Galaxy. No. It wasn't Roll for the Galaxy. That's ranked higher than that. There was something else that we mentioned earlier that was 100. So that's really close to each other. This is tantalizing radio.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was now.
Anyways, that is 22 for Dean, ranked 102 overall, Dominion Classic. 22 for me is a Stefan Feld game that I think gets overlooked all the time. It's Forum Trajanum. This is 7.3 overall. This game is so fun. This game is so good. You have all these little small grueling decisions. You get a couple tiles and you got to pick which one you want, and you want this one. But you don't want this one, but if I don't choose it, it's heading to Dean. And Dean really wants that tile and know he's going to want it. So do I just choose this because I don't want him to get it, even though I really want this? And then you get your tiles and you have to pick one of the ones that's there. So like Dean passes you his. So maybe you're like, no, like you had your decision made and now Dean gave me this, and now what do I do? Then you decide if you're going to send them to the forum, some of your pieces out there, or how you're going to use those. And it's just this really cool puzzly game where, look at that guy dressed up to play Forum Trajanum. The guy's looking sharp.
You think he's doing that for intimidation?
Oh man, would you not be intimidated if someone dressed up like an emperor?
I think so.
And sat across the table from you while you tried to play Forum Trajanum?
Does he have a sword? That would be the decision maker, I guess.
But I mean, that's what's so fun about this game is you're constantly given, you flip three cards over and you pick which two tiles that you want to flip out of those. I think that's right. And so you're constantly being given like not a lot of decisions at once. Like here's something to do. Okay, now you pick between these two. Okay, now you pick between these three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you line them up really well, it's like, yes, I did it. And when you don't, you don't. Yep. And it's a pretty fast game, like an hour.
Yeah, this is a good game, and maybe a little overlooked. I can't remember which one. This came out the same year as Carpe Diem.
It did, and I thought this was so much better than Carpe Diem.
But
not to hate on Carpe Diem, because I don't.
The flip side, I think, is that Carpe Diem was more appealing, maybe to like the masses.
Absolutely, this is a 3.5.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is also ranked 998 overall, and it's just a crying shame. Because this is one of my favorite Feld games. My wife and I just love this game.
Yep, it's an excellent game. I totally agree.
22.
So far, you got some good picks, John.
Thank you.
That's number 17 of your Feld games that you picked so far, I think.
Sorry, that went over my head a little bit because I was trying to say 22, Forum Trajanum. What's your 21, Dean?
My number 21 is not a Feld game. Have I had a Feld game yet?
I don't.
Yes, I have. I had Amerigo, I think. I had Amerigo.
That's true.
Somewhere.
That is true.
All right, my number 21, we've already mentioned because John had this on his 29, 28, something like that.
Yeah, it was my 29.
Okay, that's Snowdonia Deluxe Master Set specifically.
Yes, specifically because Snowdonia by itself doesn't make my list.
That's right. Oh, and that's a good point. Dominion is the same way, by the way. If you're looking at Dominion, I recommend at least picking up another one of those expansions. You get a lot of game out of that first box, but you're probably going to really want to to get some of those expansions. Snowdonia Master Deluxe set. Now or Deluxe Master set. I will say this: if you don't want
you saying it the wrong way.
If you don't want to spend that much on the game, because it's a pricier game, Alubari is another one that you could look at that's got really similar feels to this. It's more than just the base game, but it's not as much as what the Deluxe Master set is. And I've actually been playing this game.
But Alubari's not on my list, and this one is.
Yeah, me too, because I would choose between all of those. But
have I bought this?
You have not,
because it's too much. I don't like to spend that much money.
That's right. Now I do.
I should.
I do.
I don't know why I
haven't.
I
game, and I've played several of the different things within the box, but there's just so much. I mean, this is a game you could explore for a lifetime. I mean, honestly, there's so many cards in this box that you will not use in every game. Oh my goodness, every time. Over there? No, I'm having a hard time today.
Man.
There's so many things in the box that you will not use every game, and so you can get a lot of plays out of this. But basically, this is a worker placement game, and you are trying to go around your building tracks.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple mechanisms in the game. Like the worker placement, you're going around, you're building tracks, you're going to be removing rubble so that you can build tracks, you're going to be gaining resources that you can use to pay at the stations to gain victory points.
You're communally removing rubble.
Yeah, that's right.
So tactically, when to do that is really interesting.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, you all place your workers together, but then once you get them all placed out, then you're removing them in order,
left to right
of and taking those different actions. So there's things to think about that too. Like,
that's
I want to be able to build a track, but I really need somebody to be able to remove rubble, and if they don't, I'm in bad shape because I just wasted this action.
So do I risk it?
Yeah. So even the base game of this is really, really great. I like it. And actually, this is on Yucata. I've been playing lately. I'm
for real?
in the middle of a game right now. And so I'd recommend checking it out there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I totally agree about the way that the worker placement works, and you go from left to right. It's really fun. And I like how you're kind of working together, but not.
Yeah.
And those tactical decisions. Those are probably my two favorite parts of the game. You can actually do some engine building in this game, for real style.
An actual train engine.
That's exactly right.
That builds your engine.
Kind of fun.
Which is cool too, because most of those you can spend a coal then. Like if you have a coal, you can spend it to gain another worker for that round. Like you go to the pub and pay him coal.
That's it.
Somebody said, "Hey, you want to come work for me for a day? I'll pay you some coal."
I would say yes? I mean, it depends on what age I live in. I mean, maybe if I lived back in the day when coal was really important to the home.
Then there you go. A full day's work. Of course, their work is like, hey, I need you to pick up 3 pieces of rubble from the ground.
That's true.
It's not hard work, really.
I don't know. It depends on how big the rubble is.
Laying track would be hard, but then it's like, hey, I need you to pick up resources. Like, hey, go to the store and pick up
That's true.
1 stone and like a piece of gold or something.
I'm not sure how attractive that job would be. This does not say what it's ranked.
That's because we probably need to look at the Snowdonia.
Still, that's not fair.
That's right. You want me to look it up?
Yeah, I mean, there's other ones.
I can't even link to Snowdonia on there. Something's going on with BGG.
But this is so much better than just having the base game. What is it?
515 overall, so you can go ahead and assume that
this would be higher.
It would be higher.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so that was Dean's number 21, his last game for today. My number 29, same game on the list at the same time, and that's Snowdonia, the Deluxe Master set. My number 21 is a Vladimir Suhi game, Pulsar 2849, one that Dean doesn't like. Have you played this, though?
Yep.
You played it and you didn't like it, but you played it at the end of like something, right?
Yep.
And you were tired?
Yep. All those things are correct.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this game is brilliant, and you have to play it again, Dean. How about that?
I don't have to do anything.
Dude.
But I do want to because it seems like a cool game.
Oh, man. Dice drafting, which is a really cool mechanic where you're drafting a die, but when you do it, depending on where this median point is pointing, it can be good or bad for you. And so like making those decisions of I really want this die over here, but wow, it's 3 spaces away from this median on the left. I really, that's too much. That's going to cost me too much to, pick that up. Tons of engine building in this game. As I said, dice draft and engine building. I wouldn't say it's thematic. Would you say it's thematic? Maybe a little bit thematic.
I would say probably as thematic as like Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah, I guess. People always say this is like Castles of Burgundy.
I didn't say that. I just said it was
I know,
thematic.
but people say, I just totally disagree with that.
Yeah, it's not the same game for sure.
No, I mean, maybe there's a few little pieces to it, but you can put out pulsars on the map. That's another cool piece, is that there's so many different ways to pass to victory, I think, in this game. And the tech tree is so smart in which tech pieces to get as you're building your engine as the game is progressing. And you don't have a ton of turns in this game. This game's like, you have got to be efficient. I like games like that where you've got to make very calculated decisions on how to use the dice because you don't have that many turns. Super fun. Speaking of Underwater Cities, which was Vladimir Sugi game, this is as well, and this is just brilliant.
Yep. I probably need to go back and play this one for sure.
You do.
I need to, and I think I probably would like it better.
3.3 weight, Dean. I mean, like, I really think you played at the wrong time.
Yep.
Probably because you it's ranked 217 overall. Probably because you like castles so much, you thought, I don't want to play this game because some people say it kills Castles of Burgundy.
It could very well be the case. I mean, honestly, like I think I can't separate myself from those comments for sure. Also, I've realized something about myself. This Troyes fits in that same category because I played with people and everyone knew how to play the game except me. And so, like, the rules explanation, what did I just say?
Exclamation.
The rules explanation wasn't as thorough as I probably would have appreciated it to be, just because, this is the only guy that doesn't know how to play the game. Your head's
kind of swimming.
Yeah, and so everyone else got it and I didn't. So Troyes is another one I need to get another play of for that very reason. Anyway.
That's right.
Pulsar.
Who won that game at Troyes?
Me?
Hey, I've got to say that because Dean's beat me in games 2 days in a row.
Did I? Did I win that game? Probably not. I didn't even know what was going on in Troyes.
He beat me in Air, Land, and Sea, and he beat me in a new Dr. Finn game that's coming out.
That's right.
All right, correct. That's it. That is numbers 30 through 21.
Yep, that is it. So we're going to be having 2 more weeks of this, which I know you're excited about, Meepletown.
I am. I'm disappointed it's coming to a close a little.
Are you? We'll just have to do another top 10 list of something, right?
Okay, yeah, we'll do it. Let's go.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited to finish up the list because there's some really good games that I'm going to be talking about, and then some really dry Euro games John's going to be talking about that aren't as good. But
we'll do a top 10 list of games that you want to smash against your co-host's face.
Oh man, I'm just thinking like Caverna. That box is so heavy. I mean, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want to do that. What's the game where you bop people on the head with the caveman game? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
Stone Age.
So that will
when you get mad at your opponents in Stone Age, you bop them over the head with the game. Is that what you just said?
No, not Stone Age. All right.
That's exactly what you said.
That is going to do it for this episode. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we'd love for you to subscribe. If you'd like to support what we're doing, go to patreon.com/Meepletown or at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we're Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our Patreon supporters for making content like this possible. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/Meepletown. To follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, find us at Meepletown Games. Finally, to connect with us and other residents of Meepletown, you can join Guild 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.